Hey guys, Reed here. Today, we're going to talk about some tooltip considerations. The number one being the use of too many tooltips on a report page, which sometimes can have a performance impact. And I've also found a clever way to show very detailed information in a tooltip as well that has no performance impact on the initial page load, but will still show up on a visual when you hover over it. So I want to take these considerations in mind and show you that unique solution. So let's go ahead and hop into Power BI and get started. So we have two visualizations on the page that are nearly identical, but one of them is using native tooltips. The other one is using report page tooltips. And the big difference, if you look here, we have all of these calculations that are in our tooltips well, basically just additional metrics that people want to see. So hovering over this, we can see all of those into here. We have a similar design in this one, but this is utilizing a report tooltip page to render these. Now let's go ahead and come up to the performance analyzer, click Start Recording, and see the impact of both of these. So I'm going to refresh the visuals and take a look at that. Between the report tooltips and the native tooltips, there's about a 3x difference in performance between these two. So quite significant when it comes to those. And if I hover over this, notice that no additional duration or calculations are happening in the performance analyzer. These values were already calculated. Now, if I come down to report page tooltips, look at that. You see how the tooltips are now calculating on the fly for that page. So each time I apply a new filter that gets propagated to that report tooltip page, it calculates at this moment that calculation that is required for this. So it splits up the logic between those and the processing time. So it's one way to actually separate those. And this tooltip page over here is really just simply a page that I made a bit taller. I specifically used a multi-row card to place all of these into, but it separates that logic out and it helps break up the performance cost if you are wanting to do any kind of performance tuning onto a page. So some takeaways for you. When you're using native tooltips, do be careful of how many you add to the well because it does, as you've seen, have a performance cost. That visual has to calculate everything visible and not visible in the tooltips well before rendering the visual, and that can add a performance impact. If you do need to use a lot of tooltips in the calculation well for that, maybe consider then creating a report tooltip page then to use with those visuals that helps to split up that logic, allow the base page to calculate faster, and then for the propagation of those filters to render during runtime, essentially with the user when they are hovering over any of them. So hopefully this is something that is useful for you that you can implement into your reports. Otherwise, I'd recommend checking out any of our recommended videos up here. And as always, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoy this and want to share this with other people. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.